All right, welcome back, programmers. Each time that we control or add to a program here, we're going to make things just a hair more difficult here, so that we have one more thing to learn. Today we're going to learn how to use a bump switch. All right, so now what you are going to need to do when you open up Robot C is you're going to have to open the file. And you're going to have to go into your folder and open up our first program that we created. Remember that first program we created started the motor, and that was our left motor. We waited for 5 seconds, and then we stopped the motor. Today we're going to use what's called a bump switch. So let's say that you're maybe programming a robot dragster, and you don't want that motor to start right away until you hit a switch to tell it to start. So within your pseudocode here, we're gonna start just above the start left motor portion, and we're gonna type until bump switch is pressed. Okay. Now, within my task main, I want to tell the robot to do that. So we're going to go where the natural language is, and we're going to go down to the until category. And you see where that first line of code there says until bump. Go ahead and drag that into your task main. I'm going to get rid of that space because I don't want that there. All right, so now it says until bump, sensor port, and delay time. I'm kind of an impatient person, so once I hit that bump switch, I want it to start right away. I'm going to make my delay time just to be 1. So 1 millisecond there. All right. Now, so what this tells the robot to do is once I hit that bump switch, I push that in, it's going to start the motor, it's going to wait for 5 seconds, and then it's going to stop the motor. Notice that it's here the sensor port is once again in black, so I need to set that up. So you're going to go back in motors and sensor setup. And it's not an analog sensor because bump switches either have 2 values. They're either pressed or they're not pressed. This is actually a digital sensor. So we're going to go into the digital tab. And under digital port 1, let's go ahead and type in bump. Let's type in bump switch. Okay. In your Cortex, make sure that your bump switch is actually plugged into digital port 1. It's on the left side of your Cortex. And then for the sensor type, we're going to call it a touch sensor. You can go ahead and click on apply. And then OK. And notice at the top there, it says in digital 1, we have our bump switch. Okay, I'm going to scroll down to name my sensor port. And we call that bump switch. All lowercase, no spaces. Notice that it actually didn't change the color of this. When I go in to compile my program to see if there's any errors, I compile the program and there's no errors. It actually changed the color to the bump switch there so that I know everything's okay. All right, you're ready to go ahead and save your program as, let's go ahead and click on File, Save As, and make sure it's in your folder. I see here it says Mr. Jones. So I'm ready to save my program. Instead of first program this time, we're going to title this one Bump, or Bump Switch. And go ahead and click on Save. And we are ready to download it to our robot. I'll see you next time.